In the southeastern interior of Africa stands a sprawling complex of granite walls and towers. Covering nearly 1,800 acres, Great Zimbabwe is the largest ancient stone structure built south of the Sahara Desert. The engineering is precise. Builders shaped and stacked millions of granite blocks using a dry stone technique, relying entirely on gravity and a perfect fit, without a single drop of mortar, to construct corridors and walls that reach 36 feet high. Yet for well over a century, the people living in the shadow of these ruins were told they had no connection to them. When 19th-century European colonizers arrived, they struggled to reconcile the sophisticated engineering of this stone metropolis with their existing perceptions of indigenous African culture. This forced disconnect created a historical vacuum, effectively distancing the physical reality of the site from the people who actually built it. This 1507 map shows how early European cartographers detailed the African coast while leaving the interior blank, or filling the void with rumors of mythical kingdoms. By 1871, German explorer Karl Mauck reached the ruins. Despite finding no written records, he claimed he had found the biblical city of Ophir, identifying the ruins as the palace of the Queen of Sheba. These stories were later weaponized by the financier Cecil Rhodes. He funded excavations specifically to find evidence of Phoenician or Arab builders, using those claims to justify the seizure of land for his British South Africa Company. This search for non-African origins led to the destruction of vital archaeological layers. Intricate soapstone bird carvings found at the site were mislabeled as Mediterranean artifacts, further obscuring the local craftsmanship. These fabricated origins provided political and moral cover for colonization, transforming the site's history into a tool of erasure that took decades to dismantle. The tide turned in the early 20th century. Archaeologists like Gertrude Caton Townsend conducted the first scientific surveys, concluding that the artifacts and architecture were undeniably African. As shown in this timeline of the site's history, the arrival of radiocarbon dating in 1958 provided the physical proof needed to collapse the colonial myths. The testing confirmed that Great Zimbabwe was constructed and expanded between the 11th and 15th centuries by the ancestors of the modern Shona people. At its peak, this was a sophisticated regional capital housing 20,000 people. It sat at the heart of an empire on the Zimbabwe plateau. The city's wealth came from its command over resources. Its rulers controlled the trade of gold and ivory from the interior, exchanging them for luxury items like Indian glass beads and Chinese pottery. Great Zimbabwe was a vital center in a medieval global trade network, thriving on its own economic and engineering merits. With such a concentration of wealth and power, the question remains, why was this city eventually abandoned? Environmental limits drove the collapse. Supporting 20,000 people required immense land and firewood. Over time, overgrazing and deforestation exhausted the soil. Additionally, trade routes shifted coastward, and the rising Mutapa Empire challenged Great Zimbabwe's control over regional gold trade. Successive periods of drought likely compounded these issues, leading to widespread agricultural failure. The empire's end was a slow transition, dictated by the hard limits of the local environment and the changing tides of regional wealth. Despite the archaeological evidence, the white minority government of Rhodesia continued to deny the site's African origins into the 1960s, using history as a way to maintain political dominance. That changed in 1980. Upon achieving black majority rule, the nation discarded the name Rhodesia and officially renamed itself Zimbabwe after the stone ruins. Today, the site is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, representing a history reclaimed by the Shona people. Great Zimbabwe stands as a testament to indigenous African ingenuity, a stone legacy that endured despite centuries of attempts to rewrite its origin.